Hello and welcome into another episode of Inside the G League podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is G, and today we have a special guest, Sean Whitaker.
Hey guys, it's been a minute.
Scott and Basim won't be able to join today, but we're gonna still have a lot of fun things to discuss, especially heading into week 7. Exciting times, right, Sean?
Oh my goodness, it is just a multiverse of possibilities. Well played. Fun season, guys.
Yeah, I think one of the highlights from the G League is the fact that we want to make it very competitive, and I think it's a testament to how this league is structured that there are at least 6 teams still fighting for the playoff
Yeah.
spot, right?
Incredible.
Okay, and one, I'm sorry. You guys at the bottom, but
And one, I've been there. That was me last season. There's always hope. We flipped it around, so I believe that you guys can too next season. But take heart in knowing that you can be
Absolutely.
just an agent of chaos and disaster with the first game of the week next week.
But only one out of the 8 teams are out of the playoff contention, but the rest, you guys are all fighting for it. So we could talk a little bit more about that at the end of the segment. But why don't we do a little bit of recap, Sean, about the week 6 games?
Right. So week 6, we had a lot of really good matchups. Out of the 4 games, 3 of them were, lack of a better word, blowouts. You were a part of one of those.
Yeah, Red Bulls beat the part-time Hoopers 63-45. Scott Majors had, I'm not kidding, 30, 20, 10 triple-double.
That's just unreal.
Just
Scott,
insane.
I miss you. I love you.
Yes.
It's my season 3 hero.
But what also needs to be highlighted is that, part-time Hoopers prepared for the game really well. They play zone offense, but Ishmael from Red Bulls caught fire in second half, made 5 threes. And that was history. Also noting that Hoopers were missing Angelo.
Yeah, that's big.
So it's upcline battle. I know Red Bulls were also missing their defensive anchor, Brian Pugh, but still, it's tough to not have your leading point guard.
Yeah, that's tough both ways. And, thoughts and prayers out to Angelo and his family.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that with us. We're here to support you in everything we can, Angelo. So
Yes.
best of luck, man.
For game 2, we had Sonic Switch and N1, and Mitchell was on a mission. After only scoring maybe 2 or 3 due to having bronchitis, was sick in week 5, he came back with vengeance, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just who gets 11? This man had a triple-double with just points, offensive rebounds, and total rebounds.
Oh, in that sense, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm calling that a triple-double. I mean, just incredible. I didn't even get 10 rebounds altogether this week, so.
He had 23 points in the first half. I think we are, as like stat keepers, were like, he's on a mission.
So basically, what's wrong with you, man? Why didn't you go for 45?
Well, he's feeling healthy and ready to go. I think he's gonna continue to lead his team in week 7. And they were missing their sharpshooter crits. Andre from the waiting list helped out, but that was that.
Yeah, we definitely ATB felt Chris the week before, so his absence can't be understated.
Thursday game, Shooters and Dirty Dogs. First half was close, but second half, Shooters just took over.
Shooters went pew-pew, man.
I mean, everyone got involved. Jasper, 16, Josh, 15, Jaden, 24, Joel, 8. Shot over 43%. What are you going to do?
No, and Jaden's just been a revelation this season. I mean, one of the steals of the draft. He's just been a sleeper and an offensive juggernaut. Not to mention, super sub Isaac hanging zeros everywhere. But, oh man, that defensive intensity, we see you out there. We love it.
The intangibles, things that you don't see on the box score, right?
Oh my God.
Speaking of defense, I think Jasper is having one of his best defensive season. He was able to defend Georges really well, locking down to 2 points.
That's not easy. One of the top league scorers right there.
So I think having like Jaden and Josh as additional scorer is helping Jasper, spend more energy on defense. So that was really impressive to see.
It's also really good to see Mario have that breakout offensive game that we know he's capable of.
Long due, for sure.
Yeah, way overdue. So good to see that, Mario.
And game 2 of Thursday, game of the week.
That was fun.
He
Vandy,
went
I'm
down
sorry.
to the
SOS, I'm sorry.
60-59 in favor of ATB. But let's talk about this a little bit. ATB, Chris Young continues to just impress everybody.
I think he impresses himself.
Himself.
I think he surprises himself
Yeah.
sometimes.
I mean, at one moment in the first half, he's airballing a layup.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he forget that
airballing.
he could catch it, put it back.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
He's, clunking the free throws, whatever. But when it matters, in clutch moments,
My God, Showtime, dude.
he made the game-winning three.
I had
with 10 seconds left.
unshakable faith in my man Chris Young.
Mm-hmm. And Nick struggled in the first half, but Nick being Nick, found a way to score, went to the basket, made a critical N1 play.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about Nick too. I mean, it was an off night for Nick, and he still hung 23 points. So I mean, he's really the anchor for our team.
So Sean, kind of walk us through. You were in the game. You were ATB in the game. Kind of walk us through the last 25 seconds.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes in general was just an out of body experience. I was talking with G beforehand. Normally, when you go to the foul game, we looked at the tape. We were down 5 points with 30 seconds,
Right.
roughly. So we played the foul game, and we're just trying to play out the game as hard as we could, with not a lot of expectation. And we had just had a few bounces go our way, and one thing led to another. And Chris hits, before Chris hits his three for us to go up by one, before that Nick got a clutch and one.
Right.
On some really tough defense that SOS was playing. So he converted that free throw. Emron had some troubles, but man, he was nails for SOS for most of the game too. So that was tragic on that side. But we got lucky, and we took our opportunities.
Even the stat keepers, we know how clutch, Imran and SOS are. So with 25 seconds up by 5, we're ready to pack and get home. But ATB came back and got the clutch win.
Yeah.
And how does this affect the standings and the playoffs? That's the big question. So the next segment we have for you guys is standings. So currently ATB has locked the first seed because this season we're doing the head-to-head. So it doesn't matter if Red Bulls win next week and ATB loses, doesn't matter. ATB has the advantage, so they're going to be the first seed in the playoffs. And the Red Bulls also have secured the playoff berth as second seed. So what we have available is the third and the fourth seed, which 6 teams will be fighting for, and they all have a chance.
Yeah,
They all
the
have a
awesome
chance.
thing with this, how the way the season shook out, is the schedule was just, you couldn't have planned the schedule any better for all the different matchups and the things at stake.
Again, just highlighting the fact that it's a competitive, balanced league where each team has their stars, role players, and the games could be comes all down to the wire, and anyone can fight for the playoff spot. So I think that's really, really good for everybody here. So let's look at the scenario. Let's look at this scenario. I know if the listeners want to pause right now and open up the schedule and then press the play again, it might be a little easier. But let's look at the clean scenario. Let's look at if the team that we project to win in week 7, if they win out, let's see what happens. Okay. So first game, ATB versus Part-Time Hoopers.
Oh, well, the first game of the week is Dogs and An 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let's start there.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so Dogs and An 1 go first on the schedule Monday at 8:30. So Dogs would definitely be considered favorite in that matchup. Like we said, anything could happen. So assuming that one goes Dogs' way, we'll mark that down. Then the next matchup is Red Bulls versus Shooters.
Right.
Red Bulls, high octane, lockdown defense. So they would be favored going into a tough fight with the Shooters as well. So assume that goes Red Bulls' way.
Mm-hmm.
Swish and SOS. This one is
Toss up.
a very, very interesting toss-up, and it really just hinges on Sales showing up, honestly, for SOS, because even without Sales, SOS has just been
Great
playing
team.
really, really tough basketball all season long, and we saw what they're capable of when Steven showed up that one week. I mean, they just looked, like a top-tier competitor.
Another level. Right.
Yeah. So That one would be heavily contested, but the Vegas Sport line would be favoring the Swish, so call that a win for the Swish.
For this scenario, yes.
Yep. And then the last matchup of the week would be ATB versus Part-Time Hoopers. ATB top 1 seed would be considered favored in that matchup as well.
So in this scenario, if the projected teams win out, then we're gonna have Dirty Dogs with the record of 4-3, and Sonic Swish with the record of 4-3, and the rest of the teams that were mentioned 3-4 or worse. Therefore, Dirty Dogs and Sonic Swish, they make the playoffs.
And then it gets interesting.
Let's do the opposite now. Let's do the upset scenario where a projected teams lose out. So Sean, do me a favor and read me the schedule, and then we could.
Yes, sir. So game 1, like we said, Dogs versus and 1. Call and 1 an upset. Yeah, baby. I know there's a lot of guys that are hungry to get that win on that team, so it wouldn't surprise us at all. Red Bulls Shooters, call Shooters fighting for that playoff spot. Yep. They want to send a message to the rest of the league. They get a dub.
Yep.
Sonic Swish and SOS. SOS gets sales, or even without sales, they just muscle up and push Swish around.
Right.
And then Hoopers, they go off on ATB and hand us our first loss of the season. Ruin our undefeated season. So in that scenario, what does it look like, G?
Then what happens is super interesting. Shooters go from 3-3 to 4-3.
Yep.
And Dirty Dogs go down from 3-3 to 3-4.
Yeah.
And the rest of the teams that were mentioned are 3-4.
Yeah.
Therefore, Shooters automatically 3rd seed in the playoffs. And this gets really interesting.
Yep. So
Dirty Dogs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sonic Swish, SOS, PT Hoopers, they all have 3-4 record. It's a 4-way tie.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got to do head-to-head. And it turns out Sonic Swish, SOS, PT Hoopers, they all lost to Dirty Dogs. So Dirty Dogs advanced to the playoffs as a 4th seed.
Incredible. And that's off the head-to-head, guys.
And this is actually a upset scenario, but very clean.
Mm-hmm.
If we go down to different results, and I don't think we can do this over the audio.
No, we would be here all night.
It'd be so many different combinations. So we're gonna do our best to write an article, send you guys some email so that you guys can, kind of put this together. But we do have one scenario, underdog, SOS, how can they make it to the 4th seed? We have one scenario that I can share with you, okay? And that is if, can you give me the first game again?
Yeah, so first game would be Dogs and 1.
If Dogs win.
Yep.
Okay, second game.
Red Bulls Shooters. Red Bulls would need to clip Shooters.
Yeah,
in that
Red
scenario.
Bulls win, okay.
And then Swish SOS, they would own their own destiny.
Yeah, SOS needs to win, beat the Swish. And the last game.
And then ATB versus Part-Time.
That one doesn't really matter.
I think yes. They record-wise, I don't think it would matter, but I think SOS gets tiebreaker head-to-head scenarios, which is what they want, versus Shooters and Sonic in this situation.
Right.
So I think they would want PT to lose.
Gotcha.
Because if they win, then I think that would knock it into a point differential situation in which that would not favor SOS.
So if we go into that scenario, at least based on what we have diagrammed here, Shooters, Sonic Swish, and SOS, they're all going to have 3-4 record. And then Dirty Dogs would have advanced to as a 3rd seed. So for the 4th seed, Shooters, Swish, and SOS with 3-4. And it turns out the SOS have beaten Sonic Swish and Shooters.
Yep.
So SOS will advance to 4th seed. So this is one scenario where SOS can still advance to the playoffs.
Yep. And even Part-Time's not out of it either. Like I said, if it goes to a point differential situation, I mean, they need a lot of help and the stars would have to align, but there is a pathway. So
with that, let's make some predictions, Sean. First game, what is your prediction?
Oh, man. And 1, I really want to believe that you could do it, guys. I just think it's going to be a George's Mario Jason game. I think that offense is going to be too potent. I'm going to go dogs in that situation. I'm sorry. You have my heart, Anwon. I'm going to be cheering for you.
I also think Tayo needs to be there. I think if Tayo was a big factor missing against the shooters. So if Tayo shows up, yeah, for
sure. Do we know Rich's health status? Would he be able to make it out for this one, or?
Based on last time I had conversation with Rich, I think it's another 2-3 weeks before he can return.
Man, get healthy, Rich. We want to see you back out there.
I think he could still show up and park in the corner.
Yeah, just park, dude. Just park and shoot.
Create space
they just need you to shoot and sit outside, then open things up on the interior.
How about the second game?
Oh, second game, Red Bull Shooters. This one's really interesting. I think Shooters have the offensive capability to pull the upset on Red Bulls here. But man, it's so hard to bet against Majors, and your guys' defense has been lapping the field. I mean, guys, by more than 10 points compared to the second best defense. When you play against the Red Bulls, you just get choked out. They suck the life out of the ball.
I think this is gonna be a really fun matchup. It's gonna be the best offensive team versus the best defensive team. No offense at TV. So I think it's going to be a toss-up, but for the sake of this, I'm going to say Bulls come out with the win.
Weird. G is picking his own team.
I know. I never do that, but...
You know what? That is actually impressive for G to pick his own team.
Playoff prediction, I just want to keep it simple.
Just for the sake of making a pick, I'm going to go Shooters. I'm going to say Jasper comes out hungry, MVP mode, and then he's got a really, really good supporting cast. The 5Js have been really impressive. Hopefully they get everyone to turn out. I think attendance has been the issue with Shooters this season. They've had key people missing on key spots throughout their schedule. So I think they get everyone to show out, and
that's right.
Don't let me down, guys. I'm calling the upset on this one.
There was a game that Jasper was missing.
Yeah, Jasper I think missed the first week. Josh, I believe, was missing when we played them.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah. So
definitely. 2 weeks ago, Jaden was missing.
Yep, so Jaden was missing the other week. So get everyone there. We'll see what happens.
In the third game,
Swish versus SOS.
That's a big one. It's a must-see. It's a big one.
Yeah. Well, the main question, of course, is will Sales show up? Sales, please come save this team. You guys would be so good.
I really would like to see SOS in full roster.
Yeah,
right?
SOS really surprised me this week. They have been, just a bakery when it comes to the turnovers this season, and they played in a wonderfully clean game last night. They only had 5 team turnovers. So if they can repeat that performance, and especially if they get Sales out there on the court, their defense could be quite good. So I think it might limit Swish's upside for shooting. And I'm going to go SOS in this scenario. I think SOS is going to come out on fire, mad about how this week ended, and get that dub.
Yep. Knowing that they still have a chance, I think they're going to come out firing. And Vandy did a great job of game planning and leading his team. So I think they're going to come out, and I'll take SOS as well. And last game...
Oh, gee. ATV and Hoopers. Come on, man. I'm going to go ATV all the way. Even when we play awful, we can't seem to lose. So hopefully that streak continues. Our hearts are probably just going to get broken in the semis.
Yo, PT, I hope you guys are listening.
Oh, man. We're just...
Come out, fire.
I think we're going to try and
Angela,
go for the
DJ.
The unheard of undefeated season for the first time in G League
Tristan,
history.
Ernesto, Isaiah, let's go.
Yeah, bring it. We want the best shot. We want the best shot. Bloody us up a little bit before we go in the playoffs, please.
Awesome. Okay.
Wait, who do you have, G? Who are you going to pick?
PT Hoopers.
Oh, yeah? I was going to let you get away with that. You got to make a pick.
Not that you guys are going to relax, but I think...
You think we're going to get in the lull?
I think things can happen.
Fat and happy.
Anything's possible.
I'm telling you, man, we stumble into wins. That's how we roll.
Anything's possible, Jason Tatum, Isaac. Anyway, that was a good prediction. We look forward to it. It's going to be a very exciting week 7. So hope to see you guys there. Stick around and watch, other teams play too, and just gonna be a fun time overall.
Oh yeah, the energy in the gym is gonna be electric, especially for those Thursday games, depending on the scenarios from the Monday. So just stay tuned and show out and support.
All right, that's all we have for today. Sean, thanks for coming out and sharing your thoughts, analysis, and then we hope to do a bit more next week in
My
the coming
pleasure.
weeks
My
for the
pleasure.
playoff special. So thanks all, and see you guys next time.